Ciao belli! Today I wanted to discuss the simple past tense in Italian. There are many explanations on the web of the past tense. Some are enormously better than mine, some are enormously worse than mine, some are enormously complicated, more complicated than mine, and some are very simple. There is no perfection. So I just wanted to have my explanation and hope it works for you. Mine will be emphasizing the simplicity of it. Alright, so let's start with this. There are many past tenses, and today we're going to work on Italian tense that is called Passato Prossimo. Here it is. So since there are many past tenses in English and in Italian, we need to find out what kind of past tense that is. So this is a past tense in English, this is another past tense in English, this is yet another past tense in English, and this past tense in English, and even this is a past tense in English. The question is, so what is that il passato prossimo, which in English is called the simple past tense or the preterite? Take a second and try to determine which one of the past tenses here would be the simple past tense in English corresponding to the il passato prossimo in Italian. I knew you were going to come up with the right answer, and this one would be it. In English it is the simple past tense or the preterite. In Italian it is the passato prossimo. So let's discuss the formation of it in Italian. First of all, you need to remember that this is the tense that emphasizes the beginning or the end of the action that happened in the past. So used to is not the same because it emphasizes the duration of the action that was going in the past. If we see the second one, this we had visited Rome before we went to Paris, it is emphasizing the past before the past. Before we went to Paris, we had done something else. They were eating tiramisu there, here, and we have here the continuous tense emphasized, and something was going on for a while. And then finally the present perfect in English here, it is the tense that emphasizes something has finished before the moment in the present. So again, we're going to work with the simple past or il passato prossimo. In English, you form it by adding ed to the regular verbs. Is it correct? Do you agree? All right. You have here I work, you have here he worked. You added ed to the verb, and then it becomes the past tense in English. For the irregular verbs, you will have to learn the past participle form that is irregular. Similar story you will find in Italian. So let's take a look at it. Here we have a sentence: Noi abbiamo mangiato. You already know the verb mangiare, you already know noi, and you already know, interestingly enough, the present tense of the verb avere that you see here. Alright, then you see voi avete comprato. And you see here, comprato ends in the same way as mangiato and ato. Some pattern maybe. Avete, again, you see the present tense of avere. Okay. Io ho pensato, you see here that subject, you see here again the avere in the present, you see here the ending ato. So how do you form that tense in Italian? All right, you will be doing that using the verb avere in the present, and you already have learned it, and you know the conjugation already, which makes it significantly easier. Note that in Italian, unlike in English, the subject pronoun is optional, so you do not have to use it. Yeah? All right. And then note that here you use the essere and not avere. So these verbs, some verbs will take essere and not avere for the formation of the passato prossimo, and we're going to discuss them in the next lesson. So this lesson will deal with the regular verbs in Italian, and the passato prossimo formed with the verb avere. All right, let's take a look. You remember that there are are, ere, and ire are the most common verbs in Italian. Remember, we're dealing with the regular verbs. I would like to refresh your memory, and then you will see how to form the present in the form. So the most important thing is to remove the ending are, ere, ire, and then add the endings to the root of the verb. That's how you form the present tense. Is it correct? And you already know that. So let's take a look in here. For the passato prossimo, you have two ways of doing it. There is a one way and there is a two way. And the number two way we're going to discuss later because it will be with the verb essere. Today we will concentrate on the verb avere. So you have the participio passato, which means the past form of the verb, corresponding to, would be in English, work, worked, or eat, eaten. So you will do that for the regular verbs, and the verbs ending on are is mangiato. So the ending will be mangiare, will be the participio passato, mangiato. Bere, uto, will be the ending for the ere, bevuto. Ire, for dormire, you will end it on dormito. And then you will start recognizing the verbs. Ballato, obviously from are. Letto, some of the verbs are irregular. That is from the verb leggere, means to read. So some of the forms are irregular, just like in English. Ate doesn't look like eat, and eaten, so they have to be learned by heart. Arrivato obviously comes from arrivare. It will be formed with the essere. We're not discussing it in this lesson. All right, again we have are, ere, ire, most common verbs in Italian end on are, ere, and ire. And you have a sentence to translate. We have eaten. And note that in English, when you say we have eaten and we ate, the meaning of the sentence is the same. And on the question, let's go for lunch. Can you go for lunch? You can answer, I have eaten or I ate. In that case, the meaning will be the same, even though the formation is different. So let's say we have a sentence here, we have eaten. So in Italian, in order to translate it, you will need subject pronoun, which is optional, and that's why I put it in parentheses, because it is optional in Italian and you do not have to use it because the conjugation is explicit enough that it gives you the correct idea and you do not need the subject pronoun. Because Italian is obviously the language of freedom. So abbiamo, and then you take this from the verb avere, right from here. You take it from avere. Avere for noi, for we, the first person plural. Mangiato, you know that the ending, the participio passato of mangiare will end on ato. So you have here subject, and then you have auxiliary verb or helper verb, and then you have the participio passato. We have eaten. Now that in Italian it could be translated as we have eaten or we ate. Both would be correct. Let's say you want to translate another sentence. We worked. And this is similar. So you have noi, and again it's optional because in Italian the subject pronoun is optional. You have the abbiamo because it's conjugated according to the subject, just as here, noi, and then you take it from the conjugation of the verb avere. Noi abbiamo lavorato. Again, lavorato, that will be the ending of the participio passato. We're not going to discuss here essere, we're only discussing avere with the regular verbs in this lesson. I hope it helped, and I hope now you can conjugate your own regular verbs in Italian. In the next lesson, we're going to cover the verbs and their conjugation with essere. Thank you.